This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
They say a good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. Well, Peter Tabichi is that candle. He's a math and physics teacher from rural Kenya who has throughout his teaching career dedicated 80% of his salary to support his students who would otherwise struggle to afford uniforms, books, and even food. Peter was selected out of 10,000 nominees from 179 countries for his work at the Keriko Secondary School, a public school located in Pwani village, a remote part of Kenya's Rift Valley. His selfless work at the school was credited for inspiring his students to succeed with very few resources, and their performance and self-esteem grew, courtesy of this dedicated teacher. Tabichi's hard work and passionate belief in his students' talents led his poorly resourced school to outperform some of Kenya's best schools in national science competitions. Let's take a look at the catalytic moment when Peter Tabichi was announced as the first African teacher to win the Global Teacher Prize. I am Liu Feifei. Welcome to Talk Africa.
Peter Tabichi.
This one, I'm going to give it back to the society, okay? Because myself, I'm a brother, okay? Our needs are catered for, like food, clothing, and everything. So I'll be so happy. In fact, it is a great moment that the society is going to benefit.
And joining me now is Peter Tabichi. Peter, it's a real privilege to have a talk with the world's best teacher.
Thank you. It is my great honor. I thank God for this wonderful opportunity to be the winner of the Global Teacher Prize 2019, really shining a spotlight on the important role that teachers play in the society, showing that how teachers do a lot to ensure that the young people are equipped with skills and abilities that will make them have a bright future.
But this has been quite a journey for you personally, right? Because this is where you were living and this is where you still are living. And once you won the award a few months ago, your life has changed quite dramatically. Can you just take us back to that point where you were on stage receiving the award? What was that moment like for you?
So when the announcement was made, I wasn't sure whether it was me because it was pronounced as Tabachi and I'm Tabichi. So I took quite some few seconds to realize that it was me. And I can say that it has also transformed my life in that I have to do more, get out of my comfort zone. I used to speak less, only just teaching my students and just handling a few people. But now I have to go out and really interact with so many people. But I'm so happy that it has had really a big impact in the society. And I'm really concerned about the teachers. And I'm very sure, I'm very optimistic that it's going to have an impact in the society, because when you really raise the status, you know, the respect for teachers, and you show that they are also, they deserve the recognition, then that is the beginning of really a big journey, and it shows that there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Now, one of the achievements for which you won the award was the fact that your students started to outperform students from some of Kenya's best schools. Now, can you contextualize why that was so amazing in and of itself? That is, what are some of the challenges that your students have to face?
I can say that before really joining the school where I'm currently teaching, I was teaching in a school that was well equipped, had most of the facilities for teaching and learning, and there was like internet and so on and so forth, that comfort. So after some years, in that school I was like the dean of dean of students. So after some years, I moved to my current school, and I moved to that school because I felt like there's an impact I'll be able to make. I wasn't sure, even in the first place, I didn't know exactly where to start from. And I realized that the students go through a number of challenges. They come from very poor families. Over 95% come from very poor families. They walk to school for long distances. A majority walk as long as 7 kilometers on very poor roads, which become impassable in the rain season, like now. And it's quite hectic even for teachers. And then I can say that the level of concentration is, like in the morning, is very low because they come to school on empty stomach. And remember that you need food for that energy, for that level of concentration. And it's quite a challenge also in the school that the school doesn't have many facilities, for us teachers to be able to deliver well to the students and the students to be able to learn. And overcrowded classrooms and so on and so forth. So those are the challenges students have to face. And the other thing that I realized is that their self-esteem was low because we receive students who come with the low marks, as compared to the other schools. This is like a rural school. And how I was asking myself, how do you really change? How do you raise the self-esteem of these students to show them that it's not just grades? It doesn't matter that by scoring high grades, that's only the best thing. That's what will really make you shine. So I had to look at their talents and gifts, and that's what I worked on.
What are some of these talents and gifts that you were able to find here?
As a teacher, as teachers, we normally interact with students. And when you interact with students, you realize that there are students who can be able to speak well, who can be able to sing, who can be able to, they are doing drawings and so on and so forth. And that's what really made me feel that these young people have so much potential to change the world. And I had to work really with our teachers. We work as a team, and they gave me so much support to ensure that we help these young people to really make them shine, to get the best out of them based on those gifts and their talents. So my school, principal appointed me as the patron of Science Club, also the patron of Talent Nurturing Club, and also Peace Club. I saw that as an opportunity to really give the students the best.
Tell me more about this Peace Club.
The Peace Club in our school is, we have a group of students who do a number of activities. And being their patron, I guided them on how to ensure that everything is done smoothly. So when they meet, they conduct activities like debates, and the debates based on gender violence, how to come together, and so on and so forth. Conflict management, and then they also do sporting activities like jogging. Even myself, I like jogging, so at times they join me, and then we do it together. Even like soccer, we do it. And then there's also singing. The other thing that we do is also tree planting as a way of also conserving the environment, because climate change is a crisis, and I think it is a responsibility of everyone in the world. We don't have to just think that people are going to come from somewhere, I don't know, the moon or the skies, and come and address this challenge. And therefore, it's a responsibility of everyone, even as teachers, and that's why I use that really to ensure that the problem of climate change is addressed.
And you and your students have come such a long way since 2016 when you first arrived here at the Keriko Secondary School. What would be your proudest moment for your students?
I'm so proud of the achievement, what they have achieved, based on despite there's so many challenges that they go through. And despite the fact that they come, they join the school with low entry marks. I've seen them achieving so much. I've seen students joining, colleges and universities, from such a school. And then I've seen students participating in science activities, science fairs. They are competed with students from other schools, and they are able to do so well. Like last year, our school was the best in the country, you know, in such a just a rural school, and they are able to emerge the best and even be able to really beat these giant schools and so on and so forth. And good news is that this year we had even students who participated in Intel Science and Engineering Fair in US, which was held in Arizona, Phoenix in Arizona, and they emerged the best. They were awarded by UN. So they had a project whereby they were, it was a kind of a device that is assisting the blind people be able to measure the length of an object. And therefore, I'm so proud when I see them achieving that. Even if it is a very small achievement, it makes me feel like what I'm doing is very important.
What separates a teacher who's simply capable from a teacher who's exceptional, who can lift the students from a resource-poor area to become champions and winners?
As a teacher, you must know that you have so much. We have so much, you know, we have the gifts, we have a big responsibility to really, to play in the society. And then the other thing that you have to be aware of is that every child has a gift, has a talent. And then even when the students are aware of that, I'm very sure they know that you are working towards achieving a certain, a certain target. And you'll see everyone working so hard, and that is it. So I believe in my students, regardless of where they come from. There's so many challenges they go through. Even myself, I went through so many challenges. So when you believe in you believe in the abilities and talents of the students, and then you see them just shining and doing great things. And I've also said that you have to be very optimistic. You know that you are going to achieve something, there's something good that is going to come out of these children. And it will come out, just believing, and of course not just having that belief. Yes, you have it, you just be optimistic, but to work towards achieving that.
You mentioned your own personal challenges. I know that you lost your mother at the age of 11. How were you able to overcome that, and has that impacted the path that you've chosen?
I can say that I went through a number of challenges when I was growing up. I can say that I wasn't even sure that I'll be able to join even secondary school, even leave alone university. It came as a surprise, and that happened because of the support I got from teachers, and especially my father was also a teacher. He's now retired. He inspired me so much, and he ensured that we grow, in good values, and we have that holistic kind of aspect, holistic kind of education, and he ensured that we get the best education. I can say that the support I received from like my father, who is also a teacher, and other teachers, made it possible for me to join secondary school, and also made it possible for me to join college. Besides that, walking even to school barefooted and so on and so forth, I can say that when I was young, I also lost my mother. When I was at the age of 11, it was so traumatic for me. It was hard, but I can say that getting great support from my father and other people made it possible for me to be able to cope with the challenges. And that has also made me feel like, you can get out of challenges despite so many things that you go through. One time, the challenges are going to really, they are going to get over, and you will be able to achieve so much. And that's what has made me even like what I'm doing with the students. That's what has motivated me so much. That despite the fact that they are going through so many challenges, there is so much they can achieve. Behind every challenge, there is an opportunity. There is much that can be achieved. And therefore, that's why I really connect so much with my students, that I went through so many challenges. I wasn't sure that I'll be able to be who I am, or even be able to join secondary school. I was able to achieve that. And I believe even my students can be able to achieve that. And I was even so much support by my many people, teachers. I want to give my students and people around the community the same support that I was given. All of us, we are connected. We are one people. Your brother or your sister is not just the one that you are born in the same family. Everyone around us is the brother and sister. And that's why I believe that we all have to help each other. We all have to support each other. And that's why I do what I'm doing, and that's what motivates me to really do more, to really give more support to these children.
So it's time for a short break. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Peter Tabichi.
Life moves pretty fast. Ideas move at the speed of sound. Technology moves at the speed of light. If you don't filter out the noise, you might miss the details. We pay attention to the details because they matter, showing you a different perspective. See the difference.
Peter, before the break, we were talking about what makes an exceptional teacher and some of the exceptional things, frankly, that you have been doing. In fact, your work is beyond just working with the students. You actually work with the families in the local communities. I understand you're helping them to learn how to grow drought-resistant crop.
Yes, I believe as a teacher, your role is not just to go to the classroom, teach, and go home and wait the salary at the end of the month. There's more that can be done beyond that. Like now, what I'm doing with the Peace Club, with the science, in the science club, and then there's talent nurturing club, and also there is young Christian students. That is something that is just beyond the classroom teaching. And it therefore it means that you have to be ready to sacrifice yourself. You have to be ready to share, use your gifts, and do more other than just saying that I'm just working only towards the salary. In Africa, we have so many challenges. There is climate change, which is, of course, a global crisis. There is water shortage. There is food insecurity. So that's why I believe that as a teacher, I should do something in the community to address the food insecurity challenge. And through like kitchen gardening, growing of drought, resistant kind of crops, and so on and so forth. But there's so much that can be achieved. And I'm so proud that I'm so happy that I've gotten this platform, the chance. I want to expand what is really in the society. I don't want to introduce new things. I just want to work with the already existing groups and organizations to ensure that the food insecurity is addressed. The challenge of climate change is also addressed, but that is part of what I do as a teacher. But my main responsibility is really to be in school and helping these children. But I'm aware that they have so many challenges, and that's what...
For sure, because no one lives in isolation, right? Because if you're hungry, how can you focus in school? And I think this is the point that you made in the beginning. People need to have access to food so that they can go and learn. And in fact, what you're doing is now, because of the platform of being known as the best teacher in the world, moving beyond even just the local community. I understand that you've been named as the champion of children in conflict and crisis. Tell us about what you do in this role.
So also see this as a great privilege and honor to be appointed as the champion of children in conflict and crisis areas. These are the children who cannot be able to access quality education because of challenges like drought, earthquake, and then we have war, and so on and so forth. And myself, it's like I happen to come from such a similar background, and I feel like these are the people who really need so much support. And you find there are so many of them in the world. We have like 75 million, not 75,000, 75 million children are not able to have access to really quality education because of those factors I've mentioned. And therefore, we have to do more. We have to, each and every day, we have to think about how can we address this. I really want to really talk about this by going to places and talking to them and making them feel important, and even looking for our ways on how can get other people to help them, and even in terms of like funding and so on and so forth. Just doing something to ensure that these young people, it doesn't matter what, doing something to ensure that these young people are also able to have access to quality education. They deserve decent education. Every child has a gift, and every child has a right to quality education. It should not be, quality education should not be a privilege. It should not just come as just by luck. It should be a right, a birthright to every child.
And that's exactly what the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 4 says, that every child has the right to quality education. Let's now shift gears and talk about the larger challenges facing teachers everywhere and facing the profession as a whole. What do you think are the biggest challenges?
I can say that teachers do a lot. Even many people are aware of that. They go through many challenges. At times, some complain that they deserve better pay, and then at times they do so much, heavy workload, and then at times, I can say that there's so much that they go through, and they can say that they need a lot of support. For example, they have to teach, and when they're teaching, they don't have facilities. They don't have, all that is, required for them to be able to deliver, the best to the students. And therefore, that's why I believe that they need that motivation. They need to feel that we should make them feel that they are important. And you find that there's so much comparison. The teachers have interacted is that they compare themselves with the other professions. They have graduated, and then like from the colleges, in the other professions, here they are earning so much, and the teachers are what they are earning. So how I wish that there's some harmonization of what they are paid, and then they are given so much support, and I'm so happy that there is a Global Teacher Prize. This is a wonderful initiative that really raises the status of the teaching profession.
Well, on this Teacher's Prize, you won actually $1 million. And also, I think as a consequence of winning this, President Kenyatta has also pledged $200,000 to you. How are you planning to spend all of this money?
I want to really use this to inspire and empower other people in the society, because helping others has been at the center of my heart. So I want to use this chance even to continue doing the same. Like my school where I teach, they go through so many challenges. So I want to ensure that they have access to clean water. At the moment, there's a plan to have a power hole, and then they have access to a computer lab with good internet. And then there's also other facilities like lab equipment and so on and so forth. And then there's also, of course, it has also attracted other people who are willing to support me and even do beyond just my school, because I feel that this is a great moment for Africa, not just for my school, not just for Kenya, but it's just even for the whole world, really raising the status of teachers, and that's what I want to do. The other thing I want to do is to promote STEM learning in Africa, because, as I've said, we are facing so many challenges in Africa, and we need this to be addressed. One way is to equip young people with problem-solving skills, and that can be done by, supporting STEM learning, and that's what I want to do.
And in fact, sharing your money is not something new for you. One of the other things you were recognized for was that you've been donating 80% of your salary for years. Now, what I understand is that the Kenyan teacher makes about $300 per month. You donate 80% of that. That leaves you about $60 a month, about $15 per week. You're the math teacher. I hope I've done my math right. But how do you even survive on that?
The salary that I get, I don't consider that one as mine. What I do, I get it from the government, and then I send it to the account, of this group of the Franciscan brothers. And then from there, this goes, to do many things. We have so many people in the community who have so many needs, educational needs, and so on and so forth. We have sick people. So we have a charity program that really helps a lot. I don't really worry so much, where is this salary going? There's someone who is already doing that, ensuring that these young people have access to education, the sick people are catered for. So I don't worry where the salary is going, and it gives me joy. At times it's so painful that I'm getting salary. I don't have any control over it, but it gives me that joy that this is a sacrifice you have to make, and it's a way of helping others in the society.
Peter, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, gosh, since you won this award, the Global Teachers Prize, in March of 2019, not many months ago, your life has totally changed, right? At that time, to collect the award, it was the first time you got on an airplane. And since then, you've gone around the world to speak at various, UN agencies and government bodies and so forth. You've gone to the State House to meet President Kenyatta. You've gone to the White House to meet President Donald Trump. The UK's former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, says that you are his inspiration. And you are now a celebrity in your own right. How do you think this celebrity status is going to help your cause?
Okay, thank you. I don't know whether I'm a celeb, I don't know whether I'm a hero, but I just do the ordinary things, I just do my work. I just ensure that I give it the best, because I believe that all of us are connected, all of us are brothers and sisters. We are one family, and I really want to use this to inspire and empower others. I'm not so much into personal investment, but I really want to use the same love, the same happiness, to ensure that others are happy. I believe that life is all about making others happy. You are happy, and then you share the same happiness with the other people. You promote peace and harmony in the society, and that's what I want to achieve.
Peter, this is my last question for you because we're out of time. Now, you are the best teacher in the world. You've been named the United Nations Person of the Year for Kenya. But yet, the road for Peter is really just beginning. You're only 37, you're very young. So going forward, what other aspirations could you possibly have? And when you look back at the end of your career later on, what do you think you want your legacy to be?
I want to have an impact, not just in my own country, but beyond that, even in the whole of Africa, and even beyond Africa. And I believe that that is achievable, that can be achieved. And I want to have this impact, especially in education, because I believe that education is what can make us achieve really great things. And I believe all of us have that potential. All of us have we have the abilities to change the world in our smaller ways. You don't have to be have those higher positions, for you to change the world, to have that to make that transformation. You just start with the simple things, just the ordinary things in life. If you are teaching, teach well. If you are doing whatever you are doing, you do your best and you give it the best with passion and love and dedication and commitment.
Peter, it's been truly inspirational speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's all we have time for on this week's Talk Africa. A big thank you once again to Peter Tabichi, winner of the 2019 Global Teacher Prize and the UN Person of the Year for Kenya. Remember to catch this and more episodes of Talk Africa on your YouTube playlist and the CGTN Africa website. We'd also love to hear your feedback through our social media handles on Facebook and Twitter. Do keep this conversation going and tune in again next week for more of Talk Africa. From me, Liu Feifei, and the Talk Africa team in Nakuru County of Kenya's Rift Valley, thank you for watching and see you next time. Peter, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks so much.